My name is Tim, and before we look at the perfect, I want to look at the past. And like the present, it comes in two forms. The simple past and the past continuous, which used to be called the imperfect, if you know your Latin grammar. And there are 5 basic rules that we need to consider. Firstly, the simple past, or the praetorite, deals with one finished action in the past. I went to Oxford yesterday. Secondly, it deals with a past habit. My elderly aunt smoked 10 cigarettes a day. We can also talk about past habits with words like used to or would, or was in the habit of smoking 10 cigarettes, and so on. I don't really like smoking. That's the present participle. I never smoked. That's the past simple. I do not smoke. That's the present. Now, let's give you some other better examples. When I was in Athens, I danced every night. When I was in Athens, I used to dance. I was in the habit of dancing every night in Athens. It's 10 years since I danced in Athens. There are 3 rules that govern the past continuous. Actions in progress. I was dancing when the phone rang. I was eating while she was talking. The second is temporary action at a certain time in the past. Think of a police interview. I was eating my dinner when the phone rang, or I was eating my dinner when I saw the man hit my car. And 3, like the present continuous, we can use the past continuous to emphasize something in the past with always, constantly, usually. I remember when I was little, my parents were always dancing. Now for the exciting bit, because when we talk about the past tense in English, we also have to talk about irregular forms of the verb, strange forms of the verb that we don't expect. I eat is the present, but I ate or I ate is the past. The verb to be in the past was or were. Become, became. Bend, bent. Begin, began. I began to talk a few minutes ago. Bind, bound, a form of tie. But we can also use the word for books, a leather-bound volume. Bleed, bled. Blow, blew. The wind blew from the north. Remember, the past simple is the narrative tense in books. Breed, bred. I used to live on a farm where they bred horses, a stud farm. Bring, brought. Build, built. They built the cathedral. Buy, bought. This one is really important. Catch, caught. Let me put the rest on the board. And I should remind you about the word read, which, though it's spelt the same in the present and the past, is pronounced differently. Read, read. Now the others. Choose, chose, come, came, deal, dealt, dig, dug, do, did, draw, drew, drink, drank, drive, drove, fall, fell, feed, fed, feel, felt, fight, fought, find, found, fly, flew, forbid, forbade, forget, forgot, forgive, forgave, freeze, froze, get, got, give, gave, go, went, grow, grew, hang, hung, or hanged, have had, hear, heard, hide, hid, hold, held, keep, kept, know, knew, lay, laid, lead, led, leave, left, lend, lent, lie, lay, light, lit, lose, lost, make, made, mean, meant, meet, met, pay, paid, sleep, slept, slide, slid, speak, spoke, spend, spent, spin, spun, stand, stood, steal, stole, stick, stuck, sting, stung, strike, struck, swear, swore, sweep, swept, swim, swam, swing, swung, take, took, teach, taught, tear, tore, tell, told, think, thought, throw, through, understand, understood, wake, woke, wear, wore, win, won, withdraw, withdrew, write and wrote. You need to pause the video and check them at your leisure. They are important, and the words which are most important I've underlined, or I put a little square box around them. Now, 2 amusing vocabulary points here on the word hang and lie. Because the word hang has 2 meanings. I can, for example, hang the curtains. I can suspend them. But there is also the meaning of the word meaning to execute. And the past of that is hanged. And many native speakers get this wrong. So you are going to be right. The last person to be hanged in England was Peter Anthony Allen and not Ruth Ellis. Another thing that you are going to be right about. The other word is lie. Lie can mean something which is horizontal. But when we are talking about that, the past of that is lay. Remember in Christmas Carol, Scrooge is shown by the ghost of Christmas yet to come. He's shown his dead body and he says, "Oh, ghost, am I the man who lay upon the bed?" But the past of the word to lie, when we are talking about a deceit, a deception, something which is not true, is lied. There are three things worth remembering if you are studying British English rather than American English. There are four words which have a different ending in American English. In American English, we would put an ED. In British English, we put a T when we are looking at the past. These words are dreamt, smelt, learnt, and burnt. In British English only, remember to double the final L when you come to a word which ends in L, like travel. Travelled has got two L's in it, in British English only. And the other thing about British English, which we will deal with in the next lesson when we come to look at the real perfect tense, is that the British have a much stricter distinction between the past tense and the perfect tense than the Americans. So the next lesson we're going to do is on the perfect tense. I look forward to seeing you then. This is Tim. We're going to talk today about the simple present perfect, the simple present perfect. There are a number of perfect tenses and we'll come to the others in the next lesson. The present perfect is about things.